Good morning and happy blessed Friday. I was thinking about and love in relationships. And so it's defined as a close bond with another that goes deeper than affection, attraction, lust, or friendship. That it's a deep mutual expression of respect, trust, honesty, integrity, intimacy, chemistry, and partnership. That love is something best experienced together, and you find it in each other, not separately. So I have a story, as you know. And I remember when I was younger, I met this guy, this random meet, and we hit it off immediately. And we started hanging out, and he took me places, and we did things I had never done before. And I felt like the more that I was introduced to things that I had never done before, our connection was stronger. We definitely had chemistry. We were deep in intimacy. But back then, intimacy for me was slimly defined in that it was sex. And it was good. Not best, but good. And as time went on, we spent more time together. We hung out a lot. We were pretty much inseparable. And I just remember building a lot of fun memories. And I had the time of my life. And he was a charmer. And if I needed anything, he gave it to me, and he was sweet. And then one day he asked me to marry him, and I was elated because I had all the I was fond of him. I had the warm and fuzzies and tender, warm feelings. And of course I said yes. I said yes. And there's this saying of what's done in the dark comes to light. And it's so true, especially when you're not even looking for something. And I had no reason to doubt anything. But I tell you how God works. What's meant to be will be. And one day I found out that he was cheating on me. And it crushed me. It crushed me. And I remember being intentional about how I needed to do it. I couldn't say too much over the phone because then he probably wouldn't come. So I had to stuff that and order to get him over to the house. And so he came over, and I remember yesterday, and we were sitting in the car, and I remember taking my ring off and giving it to him and telling him that he wasn't ready for me. And I was the younger one. But I've learned that age doesn't determine someone's maturity level and or their integrity or their ability to respect you. And so I remember taking off the ring and telling him that he wasn't ready for me. And he looked crushed. But in that moment, I recall feeling deceived on so many different levels. And before we sat down and I had that conversation and gave back the ring, I had these scenarios that I ran through my mind. And a lot of it had to do with how would he respond when things change in the relationship? Because people change. I mean, would he have my back? Would he have me? And quickly I got answers no, he didn't have my back. He would probably dip out, and I wasn't his go-to. That his go-to was someone else. And once that trust was broken, once that honesty was gone, because it wasn't like he came to me and told me, it was the other person who reached out and told me. I knew that I had to make a decision. And in making that decision, I put myself first. That I could not be associated or in a relationship where I would have to second guess myself or think that I had done something wrong based off of the actions of someone else. That relationship was no longer about us, it was about him. And I couldn't help but think about, well, when things got tough or rough, I wasn't his go-to. Someone else was. And it just on a relationship level, like, you have to really take time to think about the person you're with. And how do they communicate with you? How do they express to you when things are coming up or coming out, when there's differences or hurts or pains? Do they hold it in or do they go to you? Again, you remember that it's a partnership, that it's a deep bond, that it is about respect and trust and honesty and integrity. And so if those things aren't upheld, well, then you're left with the decision. And I hope that you choose you over someone who will be quick to deceive you, and that you always have options. And you are the one constant, meaning no matter where you go, there you are. And just remember that it's funny that when you're not looking, that what's done in the dark comes to light. And I'm so very thankful that he was not the man for me. I can't imagine having had a child with him. I can't imagine being stripped or beat up mentally. Mentally, like really broken down mentally. And so it's different for different people. And I could never tell anyone what to do or how to do it. This is my life, my experiences. I just realized in that very moment when I realized that it was not about us and it was about him, that what he did had nothing to do with me, that it was up to me to make a decision, and I did. And that decision was to end it. And I didn't think I would get over it, but I did. Over time, I got over it and I moved on and I moved forward. So just know that you always have options. And when one option is not being in a relationship where trust, honesty, and integrity and commitment are not at the forefront, that you matter and you deserve to be loved and to feel those warm and fuzzies and to be able to have an honest, open, loving, caring, committed relationship with someone who, when things change or get hard, have your back. Thank you for listening. I love you. Happy Blessed Friday.